This bamboo has really shot up since I was last here. It's really grown. Some of the olive trees still look really tiny, but my goodness, some of them are really growing well. I mean, this has definitely got some new growth since last time I saw these trees. This is one of the nice bushy olive trees that's growing here. There are quite a lot of olives planted here. As I walk here across the desert, among all the stubble of the things that we've grown here, I can just feel how utterly peaceful it is. It's so peaceful, it's so remote, you can maybe just hear the birds. The trees that we've planted here are in time going to make a difference. We're watering the trees at the moment that we've planted, and that's the priority in getting them established. When you stand here, it's just so quiet. As I scan around, all you can see is desert, 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 plus the stubble from what we've been growing, and honestly there's trees in there as well, but they're very hard to see from a distance because they look so puny to start with when they're first planted. It takes time for them to get established, and honestly those buildings you can see in the background, they're ours. They're on the start of our land. There's nothing around here. There's just nothing. There's nothing. And yet this is the thing that I found so difficult to get my head around in the beginning. Whilst there is nothing within sight, there are actually so many communities here, so many villages around here where people are living and they're trying to survive, and actually it's tough, it's a difficult life for them. A lot of people have been displaced from this area because of drought, and they've not been able to grow the food, even for their sheep, and their sheep have died, and it's a tragedy, actually. I really feel that it's so tragic that this has happened because people have been forced out of these areas. Bedouins who have lived here for, I don't know, time immemorial, going back to the Old Testament, you know, Abraham, they were like Bedouins. Abraham, definitely, you know, he moved from place to place. It's really sad to think that these people are being driven off their land, their homes, because they can't sustain their way of life. I'm sure climate change has a big part to play in all of this, and it's maybe not something that we really feel impacted by on a personal level in the UK, but you can see the effects of it here. You can really see the effects of drought in this area. It's incredibly sad. But we really hope to do our little bit to just revive our bit of the area. It's a really long-term project. It's not going to happen overnight. Yes, we had some really great results in the first year, but so much more is needed, and we need to be able to plough a lot more time and energy and resources into it. But we still feel excited about the future of this project. You know, the difference that I think we're going to see over a period of decades is exciting to think about. Over time, we've had our workers make all these earth bricks, which are the same ones that have been used for making the earth domes, and we still have high hopes for a lot of the things that are going to be produced from these bricks. There's one part of our land where there's a little bit more clay in the soil, so it makes it better for building these kind of things, making them. Little by little, these pine trees are growing. This one is definitely looking bushy now, which is good. It's exciting. We can see if lots of these pine trees are really developing well. It's lovely to see. Hello. Hello, you're a sweet dog, aren't you? Yeah, you're gorgeous. One of the things I've noticed in Syria is dogs are always very cautious of humans. They want to come and say hello, and they look very friendly and loving, but they're always quite nervous of you, and they're always a little bit reserved. They don't approach you quickly in the same way that dogs in the UK do. Sometimes it's hard to actually see the trees. There are trees every few metres, every couple of metres there are olive trees. Olive trees, olive trees, olive trees. In other areas we've got pine trees, pine trees, pine trees. And in other areas pomegranates, figs. Over time it's going to grow and develop, but it really does take time, especially in the desert. This is one of the best areas that we've planted with trees. These trees are the most successful because it has the best well, and that just makes all the difference. These trees are all significantly bigger and healthier looking than on the other parts of the land. We just have tree after tree after tree, and sometimes you can't even see. I mean, these are trees actually. At this time of year also the figs leaves will start to drop as well. Over here, even the yellow trees you can see in the background, they are healthy. They're pomegranates and they all go yellow at this time of year and drop their leaves. So it really is quite incredible to see how these are growing. I mean, it's really incredible. They are beautiful. Figs and olives and pomegranates here. behind me is almost as tall as me, which is really incredible. I mean, the growth in this section of the land since I was last here in February, March, is just incredible. What's happened in that time, sort of nearly 9 months. Beautiful, really beautiful. The problem that we're having is that some of the wells on this land are great and some of them are not. In this area, the wells are really, really wonderful. And you can see behind me, there's just so much growth, so much. If you look behind me, the trees are just doing so well. They're doing really, really well. I'm going to turn it around as well. Let's see. Yep. I would say this one is definitely taller than me. Another one that's definitely taller than me, I mean, it's not so much, I am a little bit of a shorty, but the fact is many of the other trees that we have planted here are literally around our ankles still, because they're just really, really tiny. But it's so exciting to see this orchard develop. All these olives, they're just growing so well. So well. Just beautifully, beautifully, beautifully around here. And then there's something else here. Oh, aubergines, here we go, look, they're aubergines. See them, and they're still fruiting, by the way. They're still fruiting. When you see this, I mean, it's dying off now because it's basically the end of the season for things like corn, and the figs and pomegranates lose their leaves at this time of year. But when you look and you see this, it gives you hope of the paradise that could be created here in the desert. I mean, this is established vegetation here. And of course we're watering it, but you can really see the potential when you look here. It's pretty incredible, pretty incredible. The size of this olive tree, it's huge, really huge. They're doing so well. See, in this little trench we've planted lots and lots and lots of pomegranates. We've done that all around the land, but the leaves are going yellowy brown now. But as you look, you can see that there is actually fruit growing on the trees. We're keeping one here as well. Amazingly, we've just stopped to pick some pomegranates that, if you look behind, you can just see a little trench behind me with little yellow tops of pomegranate trees poking out. And if you look here, you can see what is an incredibly delicious pomegranate. It's this little lizard. Look at him go. He's scared now because we're all surrounding him, but he's very, very sweet. Oh, he's coming to say hello.
Trying to catch something.
You can just about, in the distance, you can see the mountains, but you can just about see there's some little villages as well. It's not easy to see them, but they are there. You can also see, I mean, again, it's very, very hard to see, but if I really zoom in, you can see there's like a little village or town over there as well. Again, it looks like nothing, but when you zoom in,